What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video is a continuation of the Stronger You 2 strength program on Peloton by Ben Alldis. I already posted a video that I'll link down below. That's weeks 1 and 2. And then this video will be wrapping up the program weeks 3 and 4. Weeks 1 and 2, definitely I am a little unsure about. This program is a lot of more like high reps, lower weight, which is not my absolute favorite, but it is kind of cool to do something new, something a little out of my comfort zone. I do love Ben Alldis. I just don't know how I'm feeling about this program, but weeks 3 and 4 will be interesting because we up the length of the workouts. For the first 2 weeks, we had 4 days a week, and it was a 20-minute class with a 5 to 10 minute stretch afterwards. And in week 3, we go up to 30-minute classes. So I am interested to see what we're gonna do with the extra 10 minutes because I feel like the 20-minute classes were already fairly effective. Like we were getting in there, we were working out, we were using all the muscles. So we'll see what Ben brings us today. But today I will do week 3, day 1 recommended, which is a 30-minute upper body strength class. The description is, we're ramping up the intensity with this 30-minute upper body strength workout. A similar structure with more time added to your workouts means more challenge. Upgrade your energy to spicy new levels and give it all you've got. I am curious if Ben writes these descriptions or if someone else does. They don't particularly sound like him, but who knows? And then afterwards, we're doing a 5-minute upper body stretch. The description is, take a moment for you and enhance your recovery in this 5-minute upper body stretch. Stretching improves your flexibility and mobility, not only in your workouts, but in your day-to-day life. So we're going into this with a positive attitude. I'm excited. 30-minute strength class should, be a little challenging, but I'm ready. So let's go hit the mat and knock out these 2 workouts. This class is easily my favorite class in the program so far, so I just really hope that he keeps the structure for the next 2 weeks and I will be a very, very happy camper. We will see though, because I feel like he gave us more recovery at the beginnings of weeks 1 and 2 and then slowly got rid of it. But who knows? Maybe Ben has turned over a new leaf. It is structured pretty similar to the 20-minute classes. But yeah, you basically get more recovery. So we started with a 3-minute warm-up this time, upgrading from 2 to 3 minutes. We have a little bit more time. Ben said to grab medium and heavy weights. I just grabbed one set of 15-pound dumbbells and I was like, this is gonna be a little easy for some moves, but a little hard for other moves. And I feel like my problem with the last 2 weeks classes is I was always trying to push my max weight possible for every single move. And in this class where everything is a superset, that's just not realistic. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. And I really enjoyed doing all these moves with 15 pounds. It definitely made some a little bit easier, but then I had more energy for the moves that it was a little bit harder on. So I think it worked out really, really well for me. And I think that was a huge issue why I didn't like the first 2 weeks as much. I was just pushing myself way too hard. So the format of this class, we did 4 different sets and we focused on one specific body area each time. I like that. We repeated each set once, so we did it 2 times. And every single time it was 40 seconds on, 15 seconds off with a 30-second rest in between the repeat. And then we got 45 seconds-ish for demo when he introduced the new sets. So a lot more recovery than what we've seen in the past weeks where you got no 15-second rest in between moves. It was usually just a stack superset. So I really, really appreciated it. This is my kind of format, so I really hope we keep it. I also like that we just did 45 seconds for every single move, every single time. Very, very predictable. There's nothing inherently wrong going down to 30 seconds or changing the time. I just like a very, very predictable workout. And this one was because we just did the same thing every single time. So the first set was chest. We did wide grip chest presses, then chest flies, and then standing chest flies. And for wide grip chest presses, I would usually go up to 20. And then for chest flies and standing chest flies, I would usually go down to 10, but I just did 15 for everything. And it felt good. Like the chest flies were definitely very hard and I wasn't hitting the rep count always. He said to aim for 10 to 12 reps for every single move, but I was challenging myself and I was working at it. And it felt like, yeah, the chest presses weren't the hardest thing in the world, but it was almost like a little extra recovery, or I just wasn't going into the chest flies like absolutely exhausted already. So I felt like I could try to push myself a little bit harder on the chest flies. So overall, I mean, chest flies are still not my favorite, but I know I need to work on them. Good set, no real complaints. Then we went into back where we did a bent over row, wide grip bent over row, and then a renegade row. And normally I would try to push up to 20 pounds for this, but 15 pounds felt good. Like even with the 15-second rest, this still is pretty much a superset. Like, you know, these are really back focused moves. So I still feel like I was getting good burnout, getting a good pump in. So no real complaints there either. Then we went into shoulders and we did Arnold presses, lateral raises, and then a push press. And lateral raises with 15 pounds was definitely the hardest move in the class for me. I really struggle doing anything over 10 pounds for lateral raises, which I'm kind of like stuck in between because 10 pounds usually feels pretty easy, but 15 pounds feels really hard. Again, I wasn't hitting the rep goal. I was just trying to get like as good of reps as possible, trying not to flare my ribs. That's a really big thing for me on lateral raises. And I did it, you know. It wasn't, 10 to 12 reps, but I did maybe like a solid 8 reps. I was feeling pretty good. And then we finished off with a bicep tricep situation. So we did bicep curls, tricep kickbacks, and crossbody curls. I'm pretty proud of myself because again, I would usually go down to 10 pounds for tricep kickbacks, but we actually got through the 15-pound tricep kickbacks pretty well. And I attest that to not going super, super hard on all these previous sets. Like this is the last set. Usually that's where I see like kind of my worst performance because I'm tired, but I felt like I could still get a good workout in even on the last set. And then the class was over. I definitely felt a pump during this set, which is interesting because I haven't felt that in the first 2 weeks, probably because it's a little bit longer helps. And then I also feel like, not going absolutely hard on every single move helps me like maintain having a good workout throughout the entire class. So I was extremely happy with this class today. Enjoyability, like 8.5 to 9 out of 10. It's still an arms workout at the end of the day, which isn't my absolute favorite, but I just feel like we got in there, we did what we wanted to achieve, and I never felt like super, super burnt out. Like it just felt like a really good workout. Difficulty, I would give maybe like a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I definitely went easier on the weight, but I feel like that let me push some of my weaker moves, which was good. And I love that, we got the 15 seconds of recovery. That's literally all I'm asking for. I really hope that Ben keeps this in his other classes, but we'll see as the week progresses. But overall, I'm feeling very, very good today. Then we did the 5-minute upper body stretch. I won't really comment on the stretches unless if something sticks out to me. Nothing really stuck out to me here. Like it was a good stretch. It felt good because I did feel pumped. So like we need to stretch out. So I'm ready to go tomorrow for day 2. But overall, today was really good, and I am glad we're starting off week 3 on a positive note. It is now the next day. It's Monday morning, and we're ready for day 2 recommended, which is a 30-minute full body strength class. The description is, the fun doesn't stop as we continue to build that intensity in this 30-minute full body workout. You're well on your way to becoming a stronger you. And then afterwards, a 10-minute full body stretch. The description is, stretching will enable you to maintain consistency in your routine, so make every moment count on the mat in this well-deserved 10-minute full body stretch. I'm actually a little sore from yesterday, nothing too bad, but I'm definitely already ready for my rest day tomorrow. But I'm feeling good. Full body class, we can do this. Let's hit the mat and knock these out. I was just okay with that class. I did have a sneaking suspicion that Ben would remove the recovery, and he did after every single move. So I basically just added it back in myself. So then the class was fine, but like I did modify this class. It was most noticeable in core, but in the other sections, I just tried to hit like the lowest rep count. So we started off 3-minute body weight warm up, no complaints. Ben said to grab medium and heavy weights. I grabbed 15 and 20 and figured, arms, I'll always do 15. Legs, I will always do 20. And this was set up exactly like all the other classes in this program. So we had a leg section, an arm section, a core section, and then we did have a 4-minute EMOM at the end, which is new. But I was just glad it was an EMOM and not an AMRAP. So we started off with lower body, and these sets were a little bit longer. That basically was a modification since now we're doing 30 minutes instead of 20 minutes. So we did a RDL, split squats, dumbbell squat, lateral lunge, and then goblet squat. And the lateral lunge and goblet squat was just with one weight. So I used my 20 pounds for everything. The first time we did the set, we did everything for 45 seconds, no recovery. Then we had a 30-second rest, repeated the set, did 30 seconds of every move, no recovery. And with all the moves throughout the class, when we did 45 seconds, we were aiming for 10 to 12, 30 seconds, we were aiming for 8 to 10. So for this, I just mostly hit the bottom amount of reps, like 10 and then 8. And I actually had pretty decent recovery. A lot of these moves I can do pretty fast, especially like the RDLs and the goblet squats. So I was feeling pretty okay. Like hitting the minimum reps is definitely the solution for me. Then we went into upper body set, which was bent over rows, push presses, crossbody curls, tricep kickbacks, and then standing chest flies. We did that 45 seconds each and then 30 seconds each. And I hit, the minimum reps. Again, no real complaints. I do feel like I could be pushing myself harder, but I really can't be with the way that we get no recovery. So I don't know how I feel about it. Then core was when things really started going off the rails for me. So we had dead bugs, jackknife, scissor kicks, bicycles, oblique heel tap, and then mountain climber. And 30 seconds of everything, no rep goal. So you had to just keep going. For me, what I found worked was the first 10 seconds of every single move, I just took recoveries. So it was 10 seconds off and then 20 seconds on. It felt hard still. I did feel burnout by the end of this because we did it once and then we had a 15-second rest and then we did it again. So it was a lot of core work. And even with the 10 seconds recovery, yeah, I did feel burnout. I just feel demotivated when I have to take recovery when the instructor isn't giving it to us. But I would rather take the 10 seconds of recovery and have a decent 20 seconds than just be miserable the whole time and take a bunch of breaks on my own. So that worked for me. And then at the end, we had a 4-minute EMOM. I used medium weight, so 15 pounds. We did 5 bent over rows, 5 squats, and then 5 push presses. I thought this was a fine EMOM. I could do them in 30 seconds and have around 30 seconds of recovery. So not a bad way to wrap up the class. Overall, I didn't have a bad time. I just feel I had to modify it. So how much of it is actually the class and how much of it is just because I kind of just did what I wanted to do. But enjoyability, maybe a 6 to 7 out of 10. The music was good. I do like Ben's personality. I'm just not in love with the format. Difficulty, I heavily modified. So 6 out of 10. It wasn't super difficult. But, we got through it. Tomorrow is a recovery day. And I think that I like the arm and leg days more than the full body days. I feel like the full body days is when we really start to lose the plot. So, we're going to come back in 2 days for leg day. It is 2 days later. We had a nice break from strength yesterday and I'm ready to get right on back into it. So today's class is a 30-minute lower body and core strength class. The description is, can you believe you're at the halfway mark of week 3? Maximize your potential in this 30-minute lower body and core workout. You'll start to feel stronger and stronger with every workout. Ben is with you every step of the way. And then afterwards, a 5-minute lower body stretch. The description is, this 5-minute lower body stretch is here for you to restore and recover. Your muscles will thank you for this. Ensure you are fully primed and ready for the final workout of the week. So let's hit the mat and knock out these 2 workouts. Ben is back to giving us recovery. It seems like on the specific body muscle workout days, like arms day, leg day, he gives us like a lot of recovery, and then full body, he gives us no recovery. It's an interesting approach, but I will take any class that he structures this way because I like them a lot more. So we had the 3-minute body weight warm up. Everything was great. Ben said to grab medium and heavy weights. I believe we used heavy weights the whole time. I just grab 20 pounds now for legs and 15 for arms, and that's been working out great for me. So grab 20 pounds. The structure of this class was leg set, core set, leg set, core set, which I like that. It breaks up the legs. It kind of gives you a little bit of recovery from both. And in every single set, we did 3 moves, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. And then we repeated it with a 30-second rest in between the repeat. And that was pretty surprising. Not so much for the legs because we've gotten that before, but for core, I don't know if we've ever gotten the 15 seconds of recovery. And it was interesting. I mean, I really liked it because I like my little bit of recovery, but overall, I like the class. So the first set, we did lateral lunges, RDLs, and reverse lunges. We used 2 weights for the lateral lunges, which sometimes we've only been using 1 weight for those. So that was probably the most challenging move for me in that set, but it was a good push and good recovery. Then the first core set, we did hip bridges with like lifting 1 foot up at a time, then Russian twists, and then crunches. Again, I really like hip bridges, so I like that move specifically, but I thought this was a pretty good core set. And with the 15 seconds of recovery, I felt like I could do every move at my best. So I was a very happy camper. Then we went back to lower body. We did split squats on one side, split squats on the other side, and then a dumbbell squat, which I thought was another great set. For the leg sets, we were always trying to hit 10 to 12 reps. As per usual, I felt like I could hit 12 reps because we had the 15 seconds of recovery. And then we finished off with another core set, which was bicycles, scissor kicks, and then mountain climbers. And again, no real complaints. Overall, I liked the class. I liked the way it was structured. I feel like it was an effective workout. I was just very happy overall. So enjoyability, I would give like an 8.5 out of 10. I have no complaints about that class. It was structured great. Music was good. Ben's personality was great. I wish every single class was like this in this program. Unfortunately, it's not, but it's always nice to have a good day. Difficulty, I would give like a 7 out of 10. I did feel like I was pushing myself for the most part because I was trying to get the higher rep count, but you always got recovery, so it never felt like it was like super, super difficult and it was something that I couldn't do, which I appreciate because I needed to be in that perfect sweet spot of hard, but not demotivatingly hard. If it's too hard, I just really throw in the towel. So this class was it for me. It was perfect, no notes. Then we had the 5-minute lower body stretch, which was great, and we were done for the day. So overall, good day. I'm a little nervous to go back to full body tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow. It is now the next day, and we're ready to wrap up week 3. I'm excited to be halfway through this video after today. The classes on the agenda today are a 30-minute full body strength class. The description is, congratulations on smashing week 3 of the program. You have raised the bar for yourself by unlocking new levels of strength. And this week on a high in this 30-minute full body workout. And then we wrap up with a 10-minute full body stretch. The description is, another milestone achieved. You have well and truly leveled up. Look at how far you've come in this 10-minute full body stretch. You didn't come this far to only get this far. The finish line is in sight. So I don't typically like the full body strength classes, but we'll see how this one goes. Going in with a positive attitude. I can't believe we're already at the end of week 3. It feels like I just started this program. So let's hit the mat and knock out these 2 workouts. This class was very similar to the last full body strength class. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the leg portion was the same exact set. But for some reason, I didn't hate it today. I don't know if I'm just in a good mood, had some more energy, or just had my expectations met, but I didn't hate it. It was an okay class. So we did a 3-minute warm up, grabbed 15 and 20 pound weights, and then we got right on into the arm section. The arm section was a wide grip overhead press, wide grip bent over row, bicep curl, tricep kickback, and then standing chest fly. I used 15 pounds. We did this set twice. The first time, 45 seconds for each move, no recovery. The second time, 30 seconds. And I just did the min reps. So I did 10 for the 45 seconds and 8 for the 30 seconds. That was fine. I got a decent amount of recovery. Felt like a good workout. We hit all of the main arm categories. Then we went into lower body. I bumped up to 20 pounds. Same exact format as arms. And we did RDLs, dumbbell squats, reverse lunges, lateral lunges with only 1 weight, and goblet squat with only 1 weight. Sometimes I pushed up to the max reps, the 12 reps here, just because I can do RDLs very fast. But for the most part, I just stuck at my min reps, had good recovery, felt like, again, it was a good workout. Then we went into core, and I'm actually convinced the core portion was easier than normal because I didn't even hate the core, and that's usually what I am dreading. And I was fully prepared. Someone commented that I should just pause the class if I need a break. I had literally never thought of that before, but true. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just do the core as much as I can, and then I'll pause it when I need a break. And I just didn't need a break, which is mind-blowing because I've needed a break for all the other core parts, but I just feel like this is an easier core. So we did dead bug, roll-ups, which I find easy, bicycles, which was probably the hardest move, then a side plank on one side plank on the other side. I'm okay with that because we were doing 30 seconds per move. I can hold a 30-second side plank. It's when you go up to a minute that I am struggling a little bit more. And then we finished with shoulder taps, which I also feel like is an easier move versus mountain climbers. And we did 30 seconds for every move. Got a 15-second rest, which was a little short, but I just feel like, for me at least, roll-ups, the side planks, and the shoulder taps are not that hard. So the only really challenging move was the bicycle. So when we repeated again, I just went through it again and it felt good. For the bicycle portion, I did try to actually do bicycles for the majority of it. Ben does offer this modification where you have your knees bent and your feet on the ground, which makes it a lot easier. So I did have to do that for 10 seconds in each time, but I'm pretty proud of myself for getting through that core section. And then we had an EMOM at the end, and the EMOM was definitely harder than the EMOM from last class. I thought that, the last time we did an EMOM, it was pretty easy. But this one, he definitely progressed a little bit. I used 15 pounds. We did 5 push presses, 5 dumbbell squats, and then 5 burpees. Thankfully, it wasn't a burpee push-up. It was just a burpee plank. So that did make it a little bit easier, but it definitely skyrocketed my heart. I probably had 15 to 20 seconds of recovery. So it did progress. But since it's only 4 minutes long, I managed to push through it. And I was in a pretty good mood, especially coming off the core and not completely dying during the core. So yeah, overall a pretty enjoyable class. Enjoyability, maybe an 8 out of 10. I mean, it feels good. I pretty much did everything the instructor said to do. Even though I was doing the minimum reps, it still feels good to be hitting everything that he's calling out. So overall, enjoyable. The little push at the end was good, got the heart rate up. Difficulty, I would give like a 7.5 out of 10. I definitely try to take it a little bit easier, but I also felt like this class was a little bit easier, mostly because of the core section, but also doing the minimum reps helps make it a little bit easier. Then we had the 10-minute full body stretch. That was good, and that's a wrap on week 3. I'm excited to have 2 rest days and see how Ben wraps up week 4. It is now Sunday morning. I had 2 nice rest days from strength. And now I am ready to wrap up the final week of the program. I can't believe we're already here, but day 1, class 1 of week 4 is a 30-minute upper body strength class. The description is the final week is upon us. The countdown to the benchmark test is on. Keep your focus on this goal in this 30-minute upper body workout and give it all you've got. You're nearly there. So typically I like the arms classes. I am in a good mood today. I think it will be a good one. And afterwards, there's just a 5-minute upper body stretch. The description is, enjoy this peaceful 5-minute upper body stretch. This time is for you to refocus and compose yourself ready for another day of workouts. So let's hit the mat and knock out day 1, week 4. I did enjoy that class. I feel like it was a good workout. We did get factored in recovery again, but probably either the second or third set, I'm like, wow, this seems really similar to last week's class. I mean, all of the classes are kind of repeats of each other. Obviously, we're doing the same moves. It's a similar structure, but I'm like, I'm going to check and see if this is the exact class plan of last week. So I went back and looked at that class, and it was refilmed for this week, which honestly I do appreciate. If we're going to repeat an entire class plan, it's nice to have new music, new musings from Ben as the class is going on. So I don't really have a problem that it was completely the same as last week. It's just kind of an interesting thing to note. I'm not going to go over the class plan because, we just went over it in last week's review. But yeah, we had the 4 sections. I used medium weights, 15 pounds the entire time. Felt like it was good. I do feel like maybe I saw a little bit of progress from last week. Obviously, I don't track that. If you had the guide, it'd probably be easier to see if you did have progress. But for me, lateral raises at the 15 pounds is definitely still the hardest 15-pound move for me. And then standing chest flies is number 2. Felt like those went a little bit better today. Overall, though, it was still a good workout. I forget what I rated it last week, but enjoyability, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. We got in there, we did the moves, we got out. Really no complaints. Ben keeps it moving. I like the way that this is structured, and I like the 15 seconds of recovery after each move. So I feel like I can really push myself. Difficulty, I would give maybe a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Again, you have recovery, so it's not super, super difficult. He does say to do as many reps as possible, but I usually just try to aim for 12 reps, which was the max reps. And if I hit that before the time was over, then I would just take even more recovery. That barely happened in this class, maybe once or twice, so I don't think it's that big of a deal to do it that way. But yeah, overall, good class, good last arms class of the program. And I am getting more and more excited for the benchmark class. And then we have the 5-minute upper body stretch. That was also good, no complaints. And that wraps day 1, week 4. It is now the next day, and I'm ready for the last 30-minute full body strength class in this program. They're definitely not my favorite, so I'm happy to wrap up this chapter of the program today. The description is, welcome to your final 30-minute full body workout of the program. Continue to push for your absolute best. You're almost halfway through the final week. Give it everything you've got. So I'm excited to go and knock that one out. Honestly, doing the min reps is good. Like, I know it'll be a fine class. I give myself my own recovery, and the last full body strength class wasn't that bad. So I'm going in with high spirits. And then afterwards, we just have a 10-minute full body stretch. The description is set yourself up for the greatest success in this 10-minute full body stretch. Lean into every movement and restore your energy so you're primed for the next workout. So let's hit the mat and knock out week 4, day 2. That class was very okay. I'm definitely happy to be done with the full body classes in this program. It was pretty typical to all the full body strength classes, no real surprise there. We had a 3-minute warm up, then a lower body set, an upper body set, a core set, and then an EMOM. And for lower body, I used 20 pounds, upper body, I used 15 pounds, aimed for the min reps. For lower body, I did dumbbell squat, lateral lunge with both weights, which was like a little bit of progression. Sometimes we do one weight, sometimes we do both. Front lunge, kickstand deadlifts, and then squat jumps, which that was a fun surprise because I absolutely hate jumping. I don't think we've done any jumps in this program. So, Ben's just throwing that in right at the end to make me enjoy the class a little less, but we got through it. And then we repeated the set. The first time we did 45 seconds. The second time we did 30 seconds. No extra recovery. We got 30 seconds recovery between the repeat, but that's it. But going for the min reps, I did get a little bit of recovery there. No real complaints except for the squat jumps. I just really do not like jumping. Then we went into upper body, which was structured the exact same. And we did push presses, bent over rows, hammer curls, overhead extension with just one weight, which I thought was actually pretty easy with my 15-pound weight. And then a dumbbell push-up. I just did a normal push-up. I really don't like doing dumbbell push-ups. I guess it does use different muscles, but yeah, I was like, we're just doing normal push-ups. So that set was also fine. Then it started to take a dive with core. So core was 30 seconds of each move, no certain amount of reps, so you just kept going. And we did dead bug, roll up, Russian twist, bicycle, hollow body, and then high plank. And this was not like the last full body class where I could actually do the set. I was struggling. So I basically just went as long as possible and then paused the class to take a break. So I took a break before both hollow bodies because hollow bodies are very hard for me. And after already doing 2 minutes of core, I know that my hollow body will be horrible if I don't take a break. So I just paused the class for 15 to 20 seconds and then went back in, and it did make my hollow body a lot better, but it also kind of made the class even more miserable because I'm I just want to get through this core section, and now I'm adding time to it because I need the recovery. So, it was a more effective workout, but I was definitely struggling during it. And then we had a 15-second rest before we repeated again, and I paused there and gave myself a 30 to 45-second rest, which again was good, and it made me do the moves better, but it just made the class longer too. So keep that in mind. I just really do not like the core sections here, so I just want to get them done with as fast as possible. But we got through it, and I am proud of myself. I did a good job on the core. It was just a struggle. And then at the end, we had a 4-minute EMOM, which was just a dumbbell thruster, but on one side. So we did 14, we did squat, and then a thrust up shoulder press on one side, 7 on each side. He said to use your medium weights. I used 15 pounds. That was the right weight. Obviously the squat was a little bit easy, but 14 in a minute actually took me the majority of the minute. I'd say it usually took me around 45 seconds, so 15 seconds of recovery. My heart rate was skyrocketing. It was definitely a hard EMOM, but I feel that means it's a good EMOM. So it was hard, but it was good. I did the finisher, and it was 4 minutes, so I feel it's only 4 minutes. You can do it, you can push through it. Anything longer than that, I probably would have started to not like the EMOM, but it was a good finisher. My heart rate was definitely elevated. And that was a class. So enjoyability, I would give maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite. Honestly, it's just the core that kind of brings me down. But the jump squats also, were a little added bonus of sadness in this class. Difficulty, I would give like a 7 to 8 out of 10. I mean, I basically modified this class to make it a lot easier. If you were actually doing everything you said, it would be way more difficult. I also go down on weight. But honestly, it was still like a pretty hard class. Like my heart rate was getting up. It's definitely an effective workout, even with how I've modified it. And I guess this could be appealing to people that want to like retake this program a lot, because you probably could see progress where, I could slowly stop modifying it so much. But I'm just glad that this is the last time I'll be taking this full body strength class. And then we had the full body stretch, which was good as always. And I'm excited for my rest day tomorrow before coming back to finish up the program. I had a nice rest day yesterday, a break from strength, but now I am back to do the last 2 days of this program. So today is the last 30-minute lower body and core strength class. The description is push yourself to the limits in this 30-minute lower body and core workout. The intensity will be at an all-time high and it'll be so worth it. So we'll see. Not in love with core, but I usually like the lower body. I think it'll be a good class. And then we wrap up today with a 5-minute lower body stretch. The description is use this 5-minute lower body stretch to give yourself one final pep talk before your benchmark test. All your hard work has led to this moment. So let's hit the mat and knock out these 2 classes. Today's class was great, really no complaints at all. Probably one of my favorite classes in this entire program. So it feels good to kind of wrap up the program here, because tomorrow we'll do the benchmark, but this was like the last training day. So we definitely ended on a high note, which is always nice. So we had a 3-minute body weight warm up, and then I grabbed my heavy weights because it was leg day. So 20 pounds. And we did a lower body section, core section, lower body section, core section. Very similarly structured. We had 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off after every move. So we had recovery. We repeated each section once. So we did it 2 times and had a 30-second break in between the repeat. And there were 3 moves per section. Ben said to aim for max reps for all of these moves, but typically I just aim for 12. And then if I hit 12, I just had even more recovery. That didn't happen that often, but I feel like when you're doing as many reps as possible, I don't do as well, or I don't like see a goal. And it's way better for me to just have a rep goal. So the first set was lateral lunges with 2 dumbbells, a RDL, and then a reverse lunge. And yeah, that move was great. No complaints. Good little leg set. Then we went into core, and this was all weighted, so it was definitely a progression. He's kind of said in the past you can like do weights sometimes, but this time he's like, no, like grab the weight, let's do it. So I'm like, all right. So we did hip bridges, Russian twists, and roll-ups. And I don't really have a complaint with any of those moves. I actually think Russian twists are easier with a weight. It's kind of like a counterbalance. Except for the roll-ups were good, but I am like terrified that I'm gonna drop the weight on my face. And I know it's not gonna happen. Like I have the weight gripped well, it's not too heavy, but I'm just always worried when I'm holding a weight like above me, it's gonna drop on my face. But we got through it without dropping it on my face. And yeah, for the most part, I'm not a huge fan of core, but these 3 moves, I don't have like any real beef with it. So we got through it. The 15 seconds of recovery was nice, and this was as many reps as possible. I just kept going until the end. So good little core set. Then we went back to lower body where we did a split squat on one side, split squat on the other side, and then a dumbbell squat. Another good set, no real complaints, good amount of recovery. All I ask for is recovery, and when you give it to me, I'm happy. And then we finish off with another core set, which was bicycle, scissor kick, and then mountain climber. And I do feel like I am getting stronger on my core. I mean, I hadn't worked out my core for a really long time before this program, but I definitely think that I will see progress in my benchmark test, at least on the core. That was the end of the class, and then we did a 5-minute lower body stretch. So we're all ready for tomorrow's benchmark. I'm very excited. Today's class enjoyability, honestly, like 9 out of 10. I had a jolly old time. I feel like we just got in there. It was effective, efficient. We got recovery, and then we got out. Difficulty, I would give like a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think it was the most difficult thing ever, and you do get recovery, but that's a good thing. Like, I don't want to do a 10 out of 10 difficult class. I want to have recovery time. I want to feel like it's effective and hard, but I can do it. And this class really fit the bill for me today. So I'm very happy that we ended off the training section on a high note, and I'm very excited for the benchmark tomorrow. It is now the next day, and today is the day. It is time to do the 30-minute benchmark test. I'm so curious to see how my results compare to 4 weeks ago. The description is the moment you've been working towards. It's time for your final benchmark test of the program. Measure the incredible progress you've achieved over the last 4 weeks. Max out the reps, weights, and intensity, and end on the ultimate high. So I know all the moves that we're going to be doing today. I have them written down with my rep count from 4 weeks ago. I'm going to use the same weight as I did 4 weeks ago and, hopefully get some more reps in. So it's going to be a hard day, but it should be fun, should be rewarding to see how far I've come. And then afterwards, we just have a 10-minute full body stretch. The description is your final class of the program. We've made it. Reflect on your victories and celebrate your incredible milestones you've achieved in this 10-minute full body stretch. Be proud of how far you've come. I think that'll be a good wrap-up class, and then the Stronger You 2 will be over. So let's hit the mat and knock out these final 2 classes. It feels so good to have completed the Stronger You 2. I'm pretty proud of myself for sticking with it. And the benchmark went kind of well. It was a little all over the place, but I definitely see improvement. One thing that I thought was interesting about the benchmark is Ben really commented a bunch of times that you should be going up in weight. But I just feel like, say you do 10 reps at 10 pounds, is that better or worse than like 8 reps at 12 pounds or 5 reps at 15 pounds? I just feel like when you use different weights, then it gets complicated if you do less reps than you did on the lighter weight. But on the flip side, I stuck with the same weights every time. And I feel like sometimes I didn't see as improvement because I was already pretty fast with the weights during the first benchmark. So I think either I need to be going heavier in the first benchmark and really struggling, or I need to be okay going up with the weight and just like kind of make a comparison. I mean, at the end of the day, I did know that I got stronger without these numbers, but it is cool to see that like I could do more reps per minute. So we started off 3-minute body weight warm up, and the structure of this class after the body weight warm up is 1 minute on, 30 seconds off for the rest of the class. So I do think there's a little bit of like recovering quickly here too, because I don't think 30 seconds is enough to recover when you're supposed to be going all out for the minute. But I feel like you got enough recovery that I was never really dragging or feeling like I couldn't do the move each minute. I felt like for the most part, I could go at it, and try my best. We had 3 different sections: arms, legs, core. Each section had 3 moves, and you repeated each move once. So you did each move 2 times. The first section was arms. We did push-ups, push presses, and bent over rows. For push-ups off my knees, in the first benchmark, I did 13 and then 12. And today I did 17 and then 15. Definitely still a struggle. Push-ups are one of the moves that I need to work on the most. And we actually didn't really do a ton of push-ups in this program. But I am glad to see a little bit of improvement. Really, any push-ups off the knees is impressive to me. So that felt good. For the push presses, I did 15 pounds and I did 19 both times in the first benchmark. This time I did 20 the first time and 17 the second. Arms was a little more all over the place. I don't know if I was still warming up. I would say that that benchmark was pretty similar to the first time. And then the last move was bent over rows. I also did 15 pounds with these, and I did 19 both times the first time. And in this benchmark, I did 29 and then I did 21. The first minute I was really going at it, but the second minute I definitely slowed down. It was catching up to me. I feel like I was trying to go really hard, especially like in the push-ups and at the beginning. And then it was catching up to me pretty quickly where I saw improvement on the push-ups, but then not really an improvement on the push presses. But then I could like go harder again on the bent over rows. Then we got into the leg section, and I had just come off the glutes and legs program by Adrian, which, you know, focuses on legs heavily. So I wasn't expecting to see a lot of progress here, but honestly, I still saw a little bit. So I started off with RDLs. I used 25 pounds. The first benchmark, I did 24 reps and then 25 reps. This benchmark, I did 26 and then 27. RDLs, I'm like already going almost as fast as possible. I'm not sure I can get much faster. Definitely the next progression for me is going up weight. Then we did reverse lunges, and it's kind of the same thing here. The first benchmark, I did 22 and 23. And today I did 22 and 24. For reverse lunges, I don't feel like I can go much faster. I'm pretty much going my max speed. And then finally, the squat, I also used 20 pounds and I did 16 and then 17 the first time. And today I did 19 and 20, which I was surprised to see, you know, kind of a big jump for squats. I mean, we obviously did a lot of squats in this program, but I am still impressed over 4 weeks I could get that many more. Then the next section was core, and I really expected to see the biggest increase with core. But honestly, I feel like these moves didn't really highlight that my core is getting stronger. I mean, I did see an increase, but yeah. So we started off renegade rows, 15 pounds. The first benchmark, I did 17 and 18. Today I did 23 and 22. Both times they were on your knees. That's what Ben said to do. And yeah, I mean, I did see improvement there. Then we did a 15-pound roll up. The first time I did 14 and 14. Today I did 15 and 14. I kind of feel like, again, roll ups are going at my max speed. I guess I probably could have tried to go up to 20 pounds and then pushed the same reps. But yeah, I just stuck with the 15 pounds, so I didn't see a ton of improvement there. And then for the last move, it was a plank pike reach, which I did 19 and 20 the first time. And today I did 24 and 26. So I did see a lot of improvement there as well. And I honestly think core, especially the plank pike reaches at the end, a lot of it was that I wasn't feeling as tired from the moves before. So I think that there's a lot to be said. I mean, obviously I was dead after this, but I feel like I was a little less dead than my original benchmark. And then after that, we did the 10-minute full body stretch. You know, Ben's in a great mood. We're celebrating. We finished the program, and the Stronger You 2 is done. Overall today, enjoyability, I mean, maybe like a 6 out of 10. It is cool to see progress, but you know, you are working really hard. It's not really a cracking jokes class. You know, you're in there to get the work done. Difficulty, I mean, 10 out of 10, you should be trying your absolute hardest, but it was a good class, good way to wrap up the program. It's always nice to see some progress. And I'm excited to, you know, continue on my strength journey. I've definitely been trying to be a lot more consistent with strength, and these 4-week programs have definitely really been helping me. For a review of this program in general, if you can't tell, I will definitely not be revisiting this program. I enjoy lower reps and higher weight, and in my opinion, this program is just not it. You're doing a lot more quick reps. It was cool to challenge myself with, you know, something that I don't typically gravitate toward, but it's definitely not something that I'm going to come back to anytime soon. I mean, maybe if he comes out with a Stronger You 3, I would, but I don't feel a need to repeat this class. The positives of this program is that, you know, I like the 4 days a week. I feel like typically, if I'm on my own, I'll do 3 days a week. 5 days a week of strength is kind of a big commitment. With 4 days a week, that's the happy medium. Pushing myself without being like super overcommitting. I also really appreciate that he films a new stretch every day. I feel like that's really simple, but you do not get that in the majority of programs. It's nice to not have to retake the same content over and over again. He keeps it fresh. So I really, really appreciate that. And finally, I do like that it's a full body program. There's a lot of programs that just focus on your arms or legs. So you either need to do strength outside of the program or be okay just really skewing your strength practice. So I appreciate that this is full body. But at the end of the day, it's just not something that I'm going to gravitate towards in the future. So I'm definitely glad I completed it, but not coming back anytime soon. Let me know if you've taken the Stronger You 2. If so, what you think, and let me know what program you think I should take next. There's so many that I've been eyeing up, so I'm excited to have the choice to dive into another program. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!